Every parent dreams of watching their child's first steps. But for this lady, it happened without her, and she wasn't allowed to be there either.
Well, we're waiting.
My daughter was removed from my care by the equivalent of my country's CPS when I was leaving an abusive relationship. There was real reasoning, I admit to that. I disclosed information about her father, the ex I was in the process of leaving, as I was concerned about the behavior. This led to our daughter being voluntarily placed with another family due to her father's potential abuse, and the fact that I'm disabled, autism, POTS, psychovomiting syndrome, PTSD, and had no family support. It's been about 6 months. She's turning 2 soon. I feel sick with shame every day, and I don't know when or how this is going to end. I see her twice a week, but she's no longer is upset when she has to leave. She's excited to go home. She's also excited to visit, but it hurts so badly. I miss my baby. She took her first steps with someone else. I spent the last 6 months doing everything I can to get her back, and I have recently found out that they do not have any plans to place her in my care until she is school attending age. I don't know what the point of this post is. I just feel so ashamed and guilty and horrible. I try not to tell anyone who isn't directly involved. When the landlord asks where she is, I say preschool. I can't tell anyone because I can't take any more judgment, and I don't blame anyone for the judgment. And selfishly, I don't know if I'll be able to recover from this period in my life. The sad thing about this secret is the fact that this lady attempted to do the right thing and got punished for it. Unfortunately, she tried to report the abuse of her ex that she was in the process of leaving, and in return, she couldn't even really take care of herself or her child.
It's facts! It's facts! It's not facts. Besides, it's not facts.
And so the system saw that the best place for this child was to be placed with another family, which is beyond unfortunate. Ma'am, if you were this sick and you couldn't help yourself, why would you then bring a child into a world that you couldn't aid or help either? Indirectly, you did by reporting your significant other, but in return, while you were seeking that aid and justice of trying to escape and better a life for yourself and your child was taken from you. And with that punishment of having your child taken away from you, you didn't see your child's first steps. It hurts to see your child go home because her new home is where she wants to be, not with you. And unfortunately, she is a child. She doesn't fully understand any of the circumstances of which are happening right now. I can't even understand as a parent what it's like to have your child taken from you. I can't imagine. I once had this one neighbor. She was a crackhead, unfortunately. Her and her boyfriend were, abusive. They were always hitting each other and whatnot. And the state and CPS came to the house on a visit and took the child away from her. Right outside, she had the baby in her hands. They walked up, took the baby right out of her hands, and she never saw her child again. My family and I watched that very instance happen. The devastation across her face when they took her baby, as she was like, what's going on, and didn't understand until they broke everything down to her. I couldn't imagine that being a very pleasant experience. If anything, you probably feel helpless, right? You have strangers taking your baby to tell you that you're unfit as a fucking parent, that you can't take care of your child. So because you can't do that, someone else is going to, that's better suited to be a parent, and not you. No. That's gotta be a terrible feeling, right? Having your child taken from you. If your child was taken from you, and not to say that you're a bad parent, but let's say that happened to you, what ways would you fight back to try to get your child back? Would you hire lawyers? Would you spend every dime you have to get your kids back? What if you didn't have money? Like, what would you do? What if you didn't have the support like this lady? No money, no support. You have mental health issues and body issues. You have an abusive ex and you probably don't work. Now what? What do you do? What's your course of action? But do you? Because I certainly don't know what I would do in that moment. Now for this next speaker, do you believe in the saying, what comes around goes around? Well, this grandfather fucked around and found out. My grandfather was killed in a bar when my father was still a toddler. The official story was that he was murdered over a pinball game. Back then, pinball was pretty serious, I guess. It wasn't until my grandfather confessed on her deathbed that my grandfather actually killed someone and buried the body days before his own demise. So he was actually killed in retaliation for a murder that he committed. My grandmother kept his secret for almost 65 years. What's wild about this confession is I only have more questions to ask, and all I can do is assume, right? Why did the grandfather kill somebody a couple days prior, bury the body to try to get rid of the evidence, but someone knew it was him because obviously they came and just flat out shot this man in the goddamn bar. Karma waits for nobody. And to only find out as an adult that your grandfather was actually a murderer and then got caught with his pants down at a bar and then caught the same evil doing that he did to somebody else, and it found him at the right time and right place. Unfortunately for your grandfather, he met his demise. And unfortunate for your father that he had to grow up without his dad around. What I'm actually more curious about is the transactions that happened. Why did your grandfather, kill a man and everything else? But you're not going to have those answers. All we can do is speculate. But what's super unfortunate is I think even though your grandmother divulged that secret and the truth behind what actually happened to your grandfather, I think there's way more to that story, and I really hope that you guys tried to obtain more information as to what actually happened to your grandpa. In my previous video, it seems like all these back in the day stories, whether in the early 1900s, 18, or even in the 50s and 60s, people were just out here killing everybody. It wasn't safe for anyone. Anyone could have fucked around and found out. And that's what I'm learning here. Even with today's day and age, it's the same thing. But God, back then was just the Wild West. And it was just so crazy. And unfortunately for this guy's grandfather, well, it didn't, he didn't have the happy ending and fairy tale story of getting away with a murder. Murder found him, and he's no longer with us. We've all heard the stories of retaliation, but I want to hear yours. Put it in the comments below if you know of anything like that. Any retaliatory stories I definitely want to learn about from you guys and share them on the channel. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, put them in the description. Like, share, and subscribe.